Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined once again by the man himself, the mixologist of professional wrestling, Mr. Chemical Julian, and welcome to another exciting
Once again,
of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sponsored by
man, you want to talk about a packed show? We have got, oh man, this is like a YouTube channel with an unboxing because we got a whole bunch of stuff to unbox tonight.
Man, look, Shane says, here we go again. Look, I just got to say this right now, man. What the fuck did we just watch? What in the actual fuck did we just watch?
Hey, we saw a somewhat of a fun show.
Julian. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Some of the shit that we saw tonight was horrible.
Before things get better, they sometimes seem to get a little bit worse.
I don't know. It was not better. It was completely worse.
It was a step backwards. It was a step in the wrong direction.
It was 2 steps back and 4 steps further. Okay, let's just call it what it was. Look, several things on the show tonight just did not gel right.
Correct.
Like several things. Like we've been clamoring for the women to have matches.
They had a 5-on-5.
Yeah, but
they had like really? Every woman possible in the ring.
Did they really? They even said the whole Raw roster was out there. The whole women's roster was out there.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
Did we really have something substantial? Did we have something that was even worth watching?
Well, yeah, you did. So what you had a showcase of Rhea Ripley in preparation for the return of Bayley.
Okay, now you and I talked about this before.
Yes.
I saw all the cool shit, and I was really excited because I was really hoping that Bayley would show up. I know she's still on the injured list, and she's getting herself healthy and all that other good stuff. So hopefully we will see Bayley. I mean, that right there would totally just I would be happy. Yeah, I'd be happy.
So I mean, I don't think we're gonna see Bayley probably until either day one or the Rumble. Hopefully the Rumble.
Hopefully we'll actually get to see this shit happen live. Hopefully we'll be excited about some stuff. I mean
the Rumble is. I have yet to see WWE fuck up the Rumble.
Well, they sure did to the Survivor Series. That's for damn sure.
Well, dude, Survivor Series has been lackluster for quite some time.
Look, man.
Survivor Series has not been the Thanksgiving tradition for quite some time. Probably since they stopped having it on Thanksgiving, but whatever. But the Rumble has just always been that special show.
I mean, it's that show where they have the exciting shit that happens,
correct.
Like who would have thought this person would return the Rumble? They have that shit. I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
I mean, they've had like some less exciting people return to the Rumble, like when Diesel came out, and it was like,
you mean the real Diesel or the fake Diesel?
The
real Diesel or the fake Diesel? That's what we need to talk about.
What do you mean, pal?
Speaking of pal,
same guy.
Your boy Vince McMahon was on the show tonight.
Hey, Vince is ratings. Vince
oh my
ratings.
God! I don't know. Look.
Hey,
I don't want to talk about this show. That's how bad it was.
If Vince were to put a do-rag on in the middle of the show, ratings would jump like a good 10%.
Oh my God! Please, God, no.
And start the strut.
But let's talk about something that was really good on the show.
Blind AJ.
Let's start from the beginning. That's all I can say. Let's just start from the beginning because I really don't want to. I don't want to get involved with this. I really don't want to get involved with this.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. So at the beginning of the show, they pretty much defined what's going to happen, which we haven't seen in a while. Well, actually, at the beginning of the show, we get a fox-like robot in the augmented reality thing, which I was like, I thought we left this behind. But anyway, we know for a couple things. We know Edge is coming back. We know that Biggie is going to face Kevin Owens. We know Seth Rollins is going to be out. We know that the tag team champions, Team RK Bro, is going to face the Dirty Dogs. We know that we're going to have Becky Lynch in the ring with Liv Morgan, and then we know that we're going to have some sort of special surprise coming on later on. So the first thing out, Seth Rollins come out and he goes, "Hey everybody, haha, I got a secret." Being the heel that he is, I thought that he was going to be like, "Hey, you want to hear the secret? Drum roll, please." I'm not telling you, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He said it's going to be me versus Biggie at the day one pay-per-view. And so then finally we figure out that because KO beat Finn Balor, that if KO beats Big E tonight, then it could be a triple threat match, which, pisses off Seth Rollins. And he's like, "Oh, I got to be in the match later on to make sure that Kevin Owens doesn't win." And he's trying to tell Kevin Owens, not to win the match. And he deserves to have his one-on-one with Big E, blah, blah, blah. But whatever. Anyway, Finn Balor has a match with Seth Rollins and loses. Dude, Finn Balor has spent more time in his back in the past few months than now.
Yeah, we won't go there.
He must be on his way out or something. I don't know. It's I don't know. Is it the homegrown talent complex that since Vince didn't make him, is he being punished because he blew his chance at the Universal Championship? We don't know, but he's been spending a whole lot of time on his back, falling off a ring post, just the whole deal. Not even the Demon can get him over.
I don't get this whole thing, man. I don't understand. And that's the thing that's bothering me about Monday Night Raw. Okay. Raw is pretty freaking good if you can get past all the bullshit. And that's what I'm going to call it. I'm just going to straight up say it. If you can get past all the bullshit, then you'll enjoy the show. But you can't enjoy the show because 99% of the show is what? Bullshit. Like, I don't get it. So here's my thing. Vince McMahon comes on the show. He brings in, what's his name?
Austin Theory.
Brings Austin Theory to his office. Tells Austin Theory to sit down. "I'm going to teach you some things, kid." Right? Where does this? Where does that even lead? Where does that story even go? Nowhere. There's basically just him rehashing the fucking egg again. No one cared about the egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Who fucking cares?
Hey, look, they paid Vince 7 figures. So we are going to hear about this egg for 7 figures worth of promo time. That egg is going to be on TV more than Dewdrop.
Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about this week after week after week after week, okay? Professional wrestling is at its best right now in this industry. So many cool things are happening. So many cool things. I mean, granted, Edge came back. Fucking wow. Looking like old man Logan. It was pretty bad. The Miz and Maurice, they come back.
And Miz made a very good okay, 2 things happen here. Let me start with the positive. The positive is Miz made a good point. Miz is like, "I just got finished doing Dancing with the Stars." I mean, they just showed his Dancing with the Stars package. He's like, "I just came back from doing Dancing with the Stars, and y'all didn't say shit about me showing up on Monday Night Raw. But yet y'all been talking about Edge. And so he interrupts Edge's segment, and they have not even a poor man, but a piss poor man's MJF CM Punk segment. And the reason why I say that is because Edge on the mic is no CM Punk. Miz is, well, if MJF is a poor man's Miz, MJF is a less famous Miz. So Miz is a more famous MJF. So Miz was okay, but he just had nothing to work with. So if he doesn't have a CM Punk to jab back against, then there's no dance.
Shane is right. They just basically did a copy and paste. And here's the thing. This is what made it so funny. And I put it on Twitter. This is why I made that comment on Twitter. WWE literally just took what AEW took from them and tried to do it back with less of a fare. Because quite honestly, Edge is not fucking CM Punk on the mic. Miz,
Wait, I'm
Miz
sorry.
is decent.
What do you mean? What do you mean? AEW took it from WWE?
Okay, so AEW took CM Punk and they made a real life situation from the things that happened to him in the WWE. They
Okay,
took pot shots at fucking Triple H. They took pot shots at
okay.
this and that. John Laurinaitis. So what did AEW? I mean, what did WWE do? They tried to do the same fucking thing, and it failed miserably.
So number one, I thought you meant that they copied a WWE segment. Second of all,
oh no,
it doesn't work on paper because number one, people are just going to be like, "Oh fuck, you just copying what they did." And number two, I will bet you half that audience didn't watch AEW. And second of all, they're not that invested in the quote unquote dirt sheets and behind the scenes to really get like what's going on.
Well, let me put it this way. Next week, AEW Dynamite is going to be at the UBS Arena. WWE had to literally give away 2,000 seats, I understand, to fill that arena. The crowd was dead. They use, and I'm telling you right now, John Laurinaitis and those guys with their 50-50 booking, they just booked themselves into a corner.
Dude, when Miz came out, that audience was dead.
Yeah.
Like, he got nowhere near the pop that he should have gotten.
They're using the, and from what I understand, there was a couple of people that were actually in the arena. Yeah, Shane's right. They did use a fake crowd sound. There were people that I know that were in the arena that were sending me text messages like, dude, it's so fucking quiet in here. It's so quiet. It's pretty bad. It's pretty damn sad. And the WWE is having so many issues trying to sell buildings while AEW is smashing it. I believe WrestleNomics said that earlier today. I'm not really sure. Let me go find that quote. But I did hear about the issues that WWE was having selling out that building. Yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous. But besides the whole thing, the card tonight should have been stellar. I mean, you got a great main event, which was very much easily depicted as you know who's going to win. You know how they were going to win. I literally called it on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Seth Rollins is going to come out and he's going to attack Kevin Owens, which is going to get Biggie disqualified. When Biggie's going to get disqualified, Kevin wins by disqualification. That way the champion doesn't lose by pinfall, so it doesn't diminish the champion. The challenger looks smart because he outsmarted the other challenger, and now that match is going to be a triple threat. So if Kevin Owens is actually leaving WWE in January, this would be the perfect way to write him out. This would be the perfect way to have him go out in a blaze of glory. But then again, what if he stays? And look what they've done. They've beat the champion up. The WWE has a real big issue with having their champions. If you're not Roman Reigns,
correct.
If you're not Roman Reigns, you look like shit.
So, dude, here's the thing. So, and I don't really know how much people really remember it, but Roman Reigns choked out Drew McIntyre. Guillotine choke. Boom. Done. And I was kind of like, that's kind of unusual. Well, this time around, Survivor Series, he fucking speared Big E, cleanly pinned him in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. It was a wrap. So now you have your, which I find kind of strange, your Universal Champion, which is your newer title with the shorter lineage, being squarely put on top of your decades old, heavily entrenched traditional champion, just flat out. And I get it. They're putting the steam behind Roman Reigns. They're making him into a monster. They're making him into the face of the company, their guy. And I'm guessing this is all going to come to a head for him to fight The Rock. And they're going to come to a point where, okay, who's going to take apart Roman Reigns? And quite unfortunately, when it comes to that point, whether Roman Reigns just needs time off, whether he's just like, I need a break. Unfortunately, if he has issues with cancer, if he needs a rest, whatever it is, they could end up in another Hogan Warrior situation where it's like, oh man, we found somebody really exciting. Let's put the title on them. And then you hand it over. And then it's just like, wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what do you do? So, only time will tell. But, shit, it's the business. That's just the nature of the business. It goes up and down. The bottom line is WWE is in a position where they've released so many people, they can bring back so many people, and it'll always be a surprise.
I get that. Like this whole thing with Brock Lesnar, bringing him back on SmackDown, at the UBS Arena, they thought they were going to sell it out. AEW is so close to selling that building out. It's crazy. AEW is beating them every week when it comes to the in-person. And I think it's because the WWE just doesn't give a fuck about fans. Like, I don't think they care. That's why you have such horrible booking. This 50-50 booking is ridiculous.
Well, dude, I will tell you that once again, we have a situation here where Netflix, the producers of the movie, give Vince millions of dollars to put an egg on TV, and he takes every week a good 10, 15 minutes away to put this egg on TV instead of giving matches to whoever.
And then you give shit matches. You give shit matches, which is crazy.
It could be a tag team match. It could be, you could make your championship match longer. You could have a run-in. You could do whatever.
Let me tell you what the final count tonight is for their venue. Okay, so this is the same venue that the New York Islanders play in.
Okay.
And two Wednesdays from now, AEW is going to be next Wednesday. AEW is going to be at the same arena, the US UBS Arena there at Belmar Park in Long Island. Okay, now AEW has an estimated 2,983 tickets left. Their tickets distributed so far, 8,658. That is 74% of their 11,641 capacity. Okay. Monday Night Raw, 6,706 seats with their capacity, their setup. They distributed 5,887 tickets. That's 88% of their tickets. Of a 6,706 seat venue, when AEW has sold 8,658 tickets of 11,641 at the same arena.
Okay, here's a question. I got two questions.
Let me throw out the rest of this though, because WWE was doing a 2-for-1 deal. Their ticket sales were so bad as of yesterday, they started discounting tickets. So the $30 tickets were now $15. The $15 tickets were now $10. Okay.
What kind of seats are they?
These are like colonnades. These are like main fucking floor seats that they're doing this. These are main floor seats. Despite WWE discounting tickets and the return of Edge and advertising Roman Reigns, who came out in a dark match tonight, by the way, they still did not sell as much as AEW Dynamite and Rampage is going to do on December 8th. Discounted tickets. We're talking 2-for-1 deals. New York is a WWE town, remember? New York and Long Island, like New York is WWE's like headquarters. So even with Edge,
MSG, but
even with Edge, even advertising Roman Reigns, who normally just only appears on SmackDown for a dark match on Raw.
So here's the funny thing. So when I heard that Edge is coming back to SmackDown tonight, I was like,
let me give credit to Brandon Thurston of WrestleTix for that, because you got to give him credit. WrestleNomics, Brandon Thurston.
like I was like, so what? So ever since the brand split, I mean, everybody who's on whatever brand they're on is pretty new, and there's no real story behind it. So Edge is like, I'm gonna challenge so and so and so and so and so and so. Yeah, okay. I mean, all right. I mean, he came when he came back tonight. He beat Seth Rollins in their last feud. So he beat him at SummerSlam, right? After Seth Rollins broke in his house and shit. But
He
then
came out and put him over though.
But then he gets on the mic and he puts him over.
He puts him over like they're best friends. He's like, he deserves it. Like he worked so hard. And I'm like, this is literally a guy who just broke into your fucking house like 2 months ago.
So he puts him over and he says nothing about himself. And he really gives us no reason to really believe, like, so why are you here? Like, what are you doing here? So then Miz comes out. Miz is completely right about, he gets no hype, he gets no pomp and circumstance, he comes out with his wife and whatnot. But there's really no reason for them to be fighting, and I'm not really buying into them, having a feud just because of jealousy or whatever. So, and plus Edge just kind of looks like he's just not upset about the whole thing. He's just going, okay. I mean, Miz would have been better off spilling hot coffee on him backstage.
Or interrupting a promo, because that's our feuds these days. Or calling him a bitch. That's our feuds.
Speaking of which, we have a contract signing between Becky Lynch and Liz Morgan, and they're taunting each other and putting up video packages and shit. And it made me no more excited to see them really wrestle each other. Once again, Liv Morgan's music hit, and I was like, "Oh, who's coming out?"
Like,
and then she comes out, and I was like, "Oh, who's that?" Oh,
that doesn't sound like a jerk or anything like that, but here's the thing, it's crazy because you got the same storyline on SmackDown that you do on Raw with the champions. You got Becky Lynch, big time Bex, coming out here and saying, hey, you're a crybaby. You're a crybaby. You're a crybaby. You're a little crybaby. You're not worthy of the shot. You're a crybaby. And I swear to God that on Friday night on SmackDown, I saw the same thing with Charlotte. The only difference is Becky got punched and Charlotte used 2 pies. So, I mean, it's the same shit.
You cry?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Cry? Do you want a pie in your face? Do you want a pie in your face? Now, look, these are supposed to be the 2 top professional wrestlers, women professional wrestlers in the industry right now.
I thought you were going to say grown women.
I mean, well, that too, but that's another story for another day. These are supposed to be the 2 top professional wrestlers in the industry right now. The SmackDown Women's Champion and the Raw Women's Champion. Like everyone looks at them as being the best. Everyone just writes off Britt Baker as just Britt Baker, but she's no Charlotte and she's no Becky Lynch. Yet she's out there fucking churning out great promos and great matches every time you see her in the ring without a pie, without calling someone a crybaby, without slapping someone and calling her a bitch. I mean, granted, they did just have a feud over whose booty was better. I mean, at least that's what Twitter started about. But I've always been a proponent of support women's wrestling. But I gotta say this. Vince McMahon and the WWE have made a mockery of women's wrestling.
Dude, they have good days and they have bad days. We just had a slew of bad days.
There's good days and there's shitty diarrhea-induced green as goose shit days. And this is a shitty diarrhea, no Imodium AD-induced shitty shit day. Because that 10-man tag team match was horrible. I literally wanted to stick hot pokers in my eyes. It was that fucking bad. And with all the talent they had there, my God. I've seen better matches with green as goose shit indie people.
So with regards to the women's roster, I mean, let's talk about time. So we've always talked about giving them enough time to do what they got to do.
Oh, they have plenty of time tonight.
And so Becky and Liv Morgan's segment for contract signing probably had way too much time that they could have given to the 5-on-5 match. The whole thing with Charlotte and Toni Storm on SmackDown, that all that time could have been given to somebody else. I mean, I definitely don't watch, SmackDown to see a chick get a cream pie to the face on Thanksgiving. So, the whole thing is the 5-on-5 match. Unless you're going to give the 5-on-5 match a whole half hour, and considering you're a 3-hour show, I mean, you got the time for it. But unless you're going to give a 5-on-5 match a full 30 minutes like you would at Survivor Series, you just shouldn't do it.
Yes.
Because it's going to be rushed. People are going to be looking really weak. And you're gonna be really heavy-handed in making one person look like the breakout star. And
that's just it. No one looked like a breakout star. No one looked like it.
They made Rhea Ripley look strong.
How? Explain
to
me how.
For a while,
she took a bump to the floor, and it looked like she spot after spot after spot. Everyone had to get their shit in. Everyone got their fucking finishers in, right? But they were so sloppy. There was a point where Rhea Ripley got clotheslined by Doudrop, and she was trying to go over the top rope, and she went through the middle rope, and her foot got caught on the top rope as she went out.
Yep.
Sloppy. I've seen people in training, 3 months in training, take a bump outside the ring better than that. It was horrible. And I'm just going to say this. John Laurinaitis, you piece of shit. John Laurinaitis, you are a piece of shit. And I'm going to say this. These comments are mine and mine alone. They do not reflect those of the bodyslam.net or the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. They are mine and mine alone. John Laurinaitis, you're a piece of shit. And I'm saying that with all due respect to all the women in that match. But you probably agented that match, and you told them to go out there and have a cat fight and not wrestle. All I wanted them to do was wrestle. You got some of the very best. Look. We all talk shit about Zelina. Oh yeah, her gimmick is she hasn't won a match, and now she's coming back and she's doing the stupid hand. She's a goddamn good wrestler.
Yep.
Liv Morgan went and trained. She learned lucha. Like, she literally went and learned lucha. That's the hardest shit to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Even Carmella. Carmella is a lot better than they portray her on TV.
Correct. That is absolute facts.
And Piper Niven. Let's just not fucking go there, because that chick is fucking amazing in the ring. Down. But Vince thinks it is funny to have these girls go out there and act like, I don't know what the fuck it is.
But if Stephanie McMahon is such a proponent for women's wrestling and the most powerful blah 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 in women's sports, something or the other, why isn't she, pushing for that on a one all ladies pay-per-view or that women's show or that?
Because guys like John Laurinaitis don't believe that women can actually wrestle.
Dude, she's the boss's daughter. She's got enough stroke back there to take a 205 live and make that into an all women show.
Let me tell you this. I was listening to Wrestle Talk the other day, and they basically brought up the fact that the NXT, that the whole reason why the women's revolution was going on, and the reason why everything was going so good for them, and they were getting this huge fucking push and all this good shit. There were two reasons why this happened. One, Ronda Rousey. They used Ronda Rousey as mainstream celebrity to build a women's division, even though they had Sasha Banks, and they had Bayley, they had Charlotte, and they had, Becky, and they had all these amazingly talented women. They were trying to build everything around one woman to boost that revolution, right? But I want you to think about this for a second. If you got, and fans, the ones that are listening to this podcast and the ones that are watching it, and you guys are all intelligent people. So I'm going to throw something out there, and I want you guys to think about this for a second. And if you're in the comments, make a comment about it. Talk about it. Let's get it going. Let's do that shit. But here's what I got to say. You have Triple H and you have Stephanie, and they have what, 3 children? Their
3 girls.
oldest child is training to become a professional wrestler. So Triple H, being the smart motherfucker that he is, decided that I'm not gonna let my daughter go through this stupid shit that the divas were going through. I'm gonna make women's wrestling relevant in NXT. I'm gonna make women's wrestling relevant on Raw and SmackDown. That way, when my daughter comes up, she will inherit a kingdom. She'll be able to be a professional like all other athletes there.
So hold on. So in other words, right now he's gonna kind of like keep the business suppressed until she's of age for it to be to start wrestling, and then allow it to flourish.
I'm not saying look, and the youngest one wants to do it as well. That's right. That's true. I'm not saying that he's doing it to diminish anything. What I'm saying is he's the smartest fucking person around because if my 13-year-old daughter calls me and says, "Hey dad, I want you to teach me how to be a professional wrestler. I want you to help me get into the business." Me with my influence, I'm going to use my influence to get my daughter the best fucking shot she has.
Dude, that is like me having the cure to diabetes and waiting until my daughter graduates with her master's degree or her medical degree. And the day she becomes a doctor, I slip into her notebook and for her to be like, "Oh, look at this. I cured diabetes.
Oh my
I'm
god.
famous. I can retire now. Thank you very much."
Shout out to my boy Ryan Klum for joining us right now. And Selena joining us right now. Look, honestly, man, here's the deal.
Although, you know what? The other analogy is like finding a really nice neighborhood, opening a crack house, killing the property value, using your crack money to buy up all the neighborhood, and then closing down the crack house and bringing back up the property value, and then selling all and making a bunch of money.
Why
If you
is it
steal
gotta be a
my
crack
idea, I
house
want
though?
to cut.
Why is it gotta be a crack house?
Okay, a meth house,
I mean, shit. I guess
trap house, whatever you want.
trap house. My only job in life is to keep my kids off the pole. Um. So I mean, yeah, like
The
that.
rest was
That's
cool.
like some of this shit's ridiculous, man. Like it's crazy. We had Apollo Crews taking on Damian Priest.
You about to say Sandow, weren't
I
you?
was about to say Sandy. I missed that guy. You can watch him on NWA Power.
You're welcome.
Yes, exactly. So Damian Priest. I'm just not.
His deviling up is not
I don't give a
sitting well
shit
with me.
about this gimmick. I don't give a shit about this gimmick.
Is it his hot Latin blood boiling up? Is it
I guess. I guess it's.
is it his evil side because he's Damian Priest?
Yeah, I
Like, is he
mean,
gonna come out? Holy shit. Do you think he's gonna do like a Damian Hellstorm crossover and get like the pentacle on his chest and come out the trident or something? It's kind of late for that.
as long as he doesn't come out as Wrath or Mortis or Seven.
Okay, 7, no.
Oh my god.
Dude, Wrath and Mortis, I thought was great. But I mean, fucking dude's dead, so
Yeah, I mean,
Adam Bomb's still around,
Adam Bomb's alive.
right?
Shout out to my boy Adam Woods, Adam Gordon Woods. He's got his boy Christian Cole, my boy Christian Cole, who's does some announcing for NW for the New Japan Strong shows, and just a great guy all around. Shout out to my boy Jeff Meacham, also Jeff Meacham. That's been a guy who's been around for a long time, and he's over there talking about Raw too. Not many people give a shit about Raw right now. Shout out to Kate Hensler and my girl Jay Shell Nicole doing all the work, all the business. Shout out to the Mark podcast. Yeah. Just look.
Yeah, Brian Clark's alive.
I don't even want to talk about Raw. It's so bad. Like it's so fucking bad. Like
So let's focus on the good. Everybody, hey, there's
Vince
lots of bad
McMahon
in
slapped
wrestling,
the shit out of
but it was
Austin
good.
Theory. That was good.
That was fantastic. Number 2, we had a recap of the Street Profits spraying fire extinguisher in the face of Omos and AJ Styles.
Shout out to my girl Carrie. Oh, Carrie Faust is in the house. What? Oh,
this week backstage on Raw, we start off with Omos helping out AJ Styles, who has on a pair of shades, and he's pretending to be blind because
Okay.
he's blinded by the fire
Let me tell
extinguisher.
you. Look, ladies and gentlemen, anyone that's ever been involved with television, podcasters, fucking news reporters, professional wrestlers, and I tell you, the guys at my company, when they look at the camera, I fucking throw a fit. I throw a fit. To never stare. See how stupid that look? Never stare into the fucking camera. That's stupid. That's the most rookie shit you can ever do in this industry.
But if you're blind, you don't know you're staring at the camera.
But AJ is staring right at the camera, and as the camera guy is moving, his eyes are moving to the camera, and he's wearing these sunglasses that are just so you can see his fucking eyes. I'm like, listen, dude, if you're gonna pull this gimmick off, close your fucking.
What do you mean? Just because you're blind doesn't mean you ain't got eyeballs.
Yeah, but when you're blind, your eyeballs aren't going towards where the person is walking around. You're
I
not
had a
following
cousin
the
one
fucking
time
camera
who
guy.
said, if you're blind, can you still cry?
If you're blind, are you gonna do this? No, I don't think so. So that right there totally just ruined it for me. Totally just ruined it for me.
I still thought it was hilarious.
I mean, he needs to go get himself some ass clamps or some shit. I don't know. I mean,
you and the ass clamps.
It's just a funny word. It's a funny phrase. Like what's an ass clamp? It was this match on Raw.
It's like mouth yeast.
Man, it's like getting a yeast infection in your mouth. That is pretty bad.
You ever seen someone get that little bit of white right here in the cross?
That's called thrush. But anyway, so let's talk about you said some good things happened tonight. I saw a great tag team title match between Randy Orton and
the Dirty Dogs.
And the Dirty Dogs with Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton was good in that match.
I'm really curious. I thought about this when I was watching the match. I mean, at some point, I mean, they've got to lose. And I really wonder, would they let Randy get pinned?
Would they let 3MB make a reunion tonight to make the show better?
Man.
Shut up, Shane.
Blowing
would Randy get pinned? Me personally, I don't think at this juncture in the way things are going with their tag team thing, I would suggest that maybe Riddle accidentally cost them the tag titles. I don't think Randy would get pinned.
No. I mean, it's a given. Yeah, Riddle would have to cost them the tag team titles, or Riddle would have to get. Riddle would have to get pinned. Like Randy would, get knocked out the ring, and Riddle get double teamed, and whatever. But I wonder if, because I saw Randy doing a lot of double work, like he was handling both.
Yeah.
Ziggler and Bobby Roode.
He got the hot tag, and he literally ran wild.
He was out there Undertaker and people. So
yeah.
It's almost like wrestling, like video games, where you get so many hit points.
Yeah,
you're just like the elite boss. And
he had like a fucking 20 hit combo. It's like Tiger uppercut combo.
Like Super Cena. So
I will say this though, Randy Orton continues to amaze me every time he hits an RKO out of nowhere. Because that roll through RKO,
that scoop power slam to me is still pretty sweet.
That's great and all.
To break someone's neck every time he does it.
Yeah, but that roll through RKO spot, I'm stealing that shit. Yeah. Next BCW Worldwide show, trust and believe you're gonna see my ass do that move. That was sweet.
We'll be there in a second.
We'll talk about that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have a special guest in the house, former New Japan Pro Wrestling and PWG wrestler.
PWG,
yeah, known as LTP.
Hey man, right next door to me, out here in the valley, in the mean streets of Reseda, California.
That's right, my boy LTP. He's less than perfect, but he's still better than you. He's gonna join the show tonight, so. And he's going to break down the BCW Worldwide Go Stuff Yourself event that we had this past Saturday, which I'm still suffering from the effects of the dive to the outside. And I hit a solid oak bench. And I hurt like hell.
If you just switch over to those gimmick benches.
No such thing, my man. No such thing.
Not in the mean woods of Portland, Oregon.
Not in P-Town. None of the P Town, buddy. None of them shits. But yeah, it was a good show. A lot of things happened on the show that I'd rather not talk about. But yeah, Shane's right. Randy does do a pretty cool scoop slam. But before we go any further, let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break because somebody got to pay the bills.
Hey, just one thing before we go.
Shoot.
We're going to say this one time and one time only. The Hurt Business lost. That is it.
I don't want to talk about that ever again.
Say.
Shout out to my boy Zach Thompson for joining. My boy Lone Star. I don't want to talk about that ever again, in your life.
Shout out to No Bad Match at Shelton Benjamin.
That's right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Drive me insane! All these rules are lame, cause they're taking all the fun out! Drive me insane! All these rules are lame, cause they're taking all the fun out! Drive me insane! All these rules...
When you want to get your hair cut, you go get your hair cut right. You head down to Big D's Barbershop. Big D's Barbershop, Vancouver, Washington's best and brightest. 1019 Main Street, Vancouver, Washington, where you can go get your hair lined up, cuts, fades, shampoos, conditions, and all the great things that go with supporting a local barbershop in a local business area. You can also reach them online at www.bigdsbarbershop.com. Go get your hair cut right.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Great futures do start the Boys and Girls Club. And JB Moonshine, you said it right, myself. You said it right, my man. Look, body slams to the floor don't feel good either. You goddamn right. That floor was harder than a man who just took a life supply of Blue Chew for one night only. I'm telling you, it was pretty fucking bad.
Hey, man, shout out to JB Moonshine. I thoroughly enjoyed your match and your promo backstage. And whatever you're drinking, you need to package it and send some down to California.
No. Let me tell you, do not trust anything that JB Moonshine gives you. If it's water, DNA test that shit. You better run that. Julian, you're a chemist. Run that shit through whatever test you do. Because I'm going to tell you something about JB Moonshine. This motherfucker, him and his buddy, they gave me some of this apple pie moonshine. They said, hey, just try it. His buddy's like, try it, man. It's good.
Did it come in a jar?
It was worse. He said, try it, man. Just try it. It's good. It's good. It's good shit. Right? So I say, it better be good. They say, man, it's great. Trust me. You're going to like it. Right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get this stuff. And we're going to, this is when Lance Steen was getting married. So we're going to, go celebrate Lance Steen's last night as a single man. So we were going to go do a bachelor party, first and foremost. Don't ever go to a bachelor party with these fuckers because when JB Moonshine sets the bachelor party up during COVID, not going down. These motherfuckers want to go to the bachelor. They want to go do this bachelor party at like 9:00, right? Keep in mind.
AM or PM?
PM. Keep in mind, it's 8:45 when they want to go do this, right? It's during the pandemic. Everything closed at 9:00. So we're driving around town trying to find these fucking strip clubs to go to, and we couldn't find anything. So I ended up going home, and I pulled up to my house, and I got this bar, just bottle in my glove compartment. Like, whatever. I take it, take a sip. Now keep in mind, it tastes like apples. It was great. So I took the biggest swig. Why was I drunk for 3 days? 3 days. Had me sitting on my couch like I was sweating, like I was sweating up in Debo's bird coop. Yeah, it was all fucked up. It was bad. It was bad. Never trust anything the motherfuckers have to give you to drink. Never.
He gave you some liquid sherm.
He gave me some shit that had me so lit. I was seeing into the future. I saw this conversation I was having with you right now, and this was last year. That's how strong that shit was. Like I was having conversations with future you. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But since you want to talk about go stuff yourself.
Yes, man. Hey, you know what? As you were telling me before, this entire podcast, a roundtable, before the pandemic started off as a promotion or discussion about what's going on with BCW Productions, what's going on with Blue Collar Wrestling, what's going on with everything in the Pacific Northwest, the wrestling scene. Pandemic kind of slowed that down. Now we're just talking about wrestling in general and how the fuck I ended up here. I still don't know, but here I am. So now,
I know, right? So 2.5 years ago, myself and Tony DeBurns, we sat down and we decided that since we were doing pay-per-views live every week and we were doing live TV, that we were going to use the TV studio we work at to do a actual show that was named the Roundtable. And the reason why we named it the Roundtable is because we also had a fucking roundtable. Ironically, I'm not sitting at a round table, but the show is still called the Roundtable. So what we were doing, we were recording the weekly episodes for television here in Portland.
And on the original Roundtable show, what did you talk about?
We basically spotlighted the interviews and the promos and the match results from the previous week of BCW Worldwide. So it was hey,
but for the TV show, like on television, was it just general for sports, or was it purposely focused on professional wrestling? Or
it was purposely just professional wrestling, just BCW.
Okay.
It was basically like, hey, BCW is part of the NWA at the time, so we would have like an NWA roundtable show where we talk about what was going on within the NWA, what was specifically going on with BCW Worldwide. So, and it spawned off into this crazy thing here where we're talking about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor and all these other places, and it just got crazier and crazier. And now here I am with BodySlam.net with the one and only Mr. Chemical Julian, the mixologist of professional wrestling, your boy the franchise here. Sometimes we have the Maharaja of MMA, the professor of the tribal chief, the Polynesian tribal chief.
He is the professor. He's the Maharaja of MMA, the professor of pugilistics. He's the philosopher of fisticuffs.
There it is.
He is the Fijian Phenom.
The tribal chief himself, Adam Woods, Mr. According to Woods. That dude got more nicknames than fuck.
But he does not have as many nicknames as he does interviews during the week. Jesus Christ.
He's on an interview right now, as a matter of fact, so that's why he's not here joining us. But before we get back into Raw and all those other great things, that's right, Adam Woods is great. He sure the fuck is. Shane knows what's up. We're going to break down BCW Worldwide's Go Stuff Yourself, which was the pay-per-view that was held last Saturday. If you want to watch that, real simple, ladies and gentlemen, hit your boy up. And Adam Woods won my giveaway today. That's right. Hit your boy up and I can give you a link to where you can watch this show and give us your rundown. But speaking of rundown, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you a man that has been by my side for close to lifetime. He is not only the single best tag team partner I've ever had in the entire history of professional wrestling, formerly of New Japan Pro Wrestling, PWG, the man who has done so much, the man who slapped the shit out of Pac, the man himself. He's known as LTP. He is less than perfect, but he is still better than you. Welcome to this crazy Roundtable Pros podcast. Let me go ahead and put a nice little thing up here so you can be seen in all your glory, so you can bask in the glory. Boom. There you go.
There we go. Bam.
Turn it this way right here. Let's get that landscape mode so we don't get them black bars. There we go. Boom. All right.
Look at that.
So
Look at that.
speaking of that, my boy Black G is the church's money. Shout out to him. He got a big weekend with NWA coming up. Hard Times 2. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little interview with him sometime this week, so we can put him out there too, because Rated 2G is always running roughshod all over this podcast. So it's my little brother right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
Oh, shout out to my boy Omar Rodriguez. Omar says happy birthday to Dana Brooke too. That's right, the 24/7 champion. Omar Rodriguez is the man himself too. He's gonna be joining us sometime this week.
Champion.
Man, we doing a lot. So I stood in the bathroom with soap on my face, beaming like a goober. Oh, interesting. Nice. I just read that on the air. Anyway, so the boys at BCW Worldwide. I shot the information over to the boys in the locker room, what you thought of the matches, without giving out any insider terms. I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to you. Let's go from match to match, because I'm pretty sure Mr. Julian, who watched the pay-per-view himself, had some shit to say.
Okay.
So let's you guys talk amongst yourselves about this extremely cool show that was called BCW Worldwide Presents Go Stuff Yourself.
Yeah, man. Like, I guess. Well, before I dive in, I just want to say it takes a lot. You know, I smile all the time, so don't get it wrong. But yeah, man. Nah, I just want to say, like, hey, I appreciate all the hard work you guys did. You know, going out there and doing the job, putting on a show for these people. You know, it's hard work what we do. You know. And, you know, it takes a lot of training, takes a lot of time. You take time away from your families to go out there and entertain these people. You know, you do it for the love of it, you know, just like I said, me personally, you know, that's my wife right there. You know, I'm always take care of my wife. My wife, you know, wrestling is everything to me. You know, so I take it seriously. So before I get in that ass, I just wanted to let y'all know that I take this seriously. Like this is my love. Like, you know, I've been out of the ring for a while. I take these long, you know,
pauses.
You know, pauses in between because, you know, I like to do a lot of things, but you know, I always come back. And y'all made me want to come back to show y'all what's up, like, because I felt in a lot of ways before we go match to match and just overall, like I said, it's like no disrespect. It's not about bagging on nobody. It's nothing like that. It's all constructive criticism because I only want to see people do better. That's it. Like, I love this and I know y'all love it too. You got to take it serious to a certain point. You know, that's just how I feel. Like, you know, it took me less than 2 years to get to Japan. True. Because it took it less than 3 years, a little bit over 2 years to get to Japan because I took it serious.
It was that dojo living that did it. That's what it was.
That dojo life. It was that you remember everybody who showed up. You hung in there. I hung in there. Chino hung in there. But there was a lot of guys who came in there, and within 10 minutes they throwing up. They're puking their guts out.
That Tory Mondrill ain't no joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Tory Mondrill is no joke, and people don't understand that the cardio that you have to do, that the Durango trainings, doing the hour and a half, 2 hours of cardio before you even touch the ring, like that kind of workout, like those are, and those were every training. So it's just, when I look at the Pacific Northwest, I see a lot of talent. So whatever I say, like I said, it's not to hurt or offend or anything like that. I saw a lot of good. It's not all bad. I saw a lot of good. Even though when I was sending you those messages, I was just picking out what I saw at that time. But there was a lot of good in there. I don't need to praise you on the good. You need to fix what needs to be fixed. Period. Point blank. Because like I said, I take this serious.
And ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this 29 years, and I tell you, every time I have a match, I fucking shoot this dude the clip like, okay, where'd I fuck up? It's the truth.
And your
I ain't gonna
bag, and your
lie.
bag's been in the game. And your
I ain't gonna lie.
bag's been in the game. Your bag's been in the game for 25. So it's
Yeah, some people. Hey, Julian, you laugh. We had this show one time, and this guy was like talking like, look, we all talk about paying your dues in this industry. Well, this guy had been in the business like my spit was in the business longer than this dude, and he was talking shit like he was running things. So he was like, who's the match? And I'm like, that bag over there. He said, excuse me? I
facts.
said, the bag right there.
Facts.
And he said, oh, well, what do you want me to do with that bag? I said, you're going to go put that bag over.
Yeah,
He said, excuse me?
the bag's
How
better.
many
The
years you
bag
got in
got
the business?
more
And he was like,
security.
I got 2 years in business, so that bag has you by 23. You're going to respect that bag tonight.
It's facts. That's facts.
That's
Hey,
paying your
man.
dues, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I've got to say that from my perspective, I've had a good chance to see the prep work that goes into putting in a show, and not even all of it. I get to like maybe 50% of it, and it's really fun to see how excited the franchise player, the biggest heel in the business, gets.
Shut your pie hole.
How excited he gets about getting some new technology or something new for the show or for the arena or something like, or for the fans, something to put in the ring, or where he's going to put new cameras in.
You're on the ground floor with me every week.
And, and it's like I was telling him the other day, I was like, I like the club. It's got that Shotgun Saturday Night look to it. And he's like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. And so, it's one of those things where you look at the talent in the ring, you look what you've been given to work with. You look at the arena, you look at the, you look at the surroundings, you look at the lighting. We had some discussions about positioning of the ref, how the lighting looks with regards to the camera positions and all that kind of stuff. And, and it's one of those things where the dude's constantly taking notes and constantly looking to, improve something every show. And that's just from a show quality perspective.
Or progression, man.
Not even getting into the matches themselves. And it's definitely a labor of love. It's an everyday thing. It's a lot of prep work goes into, it's like coming home and finding a hot meal on the table. I mean, the shit didn't just appear. Having kids, I tell my kids all the time, like, food you don't open the fridge and food magically appears. Like, it has to get in there somehow, some way.
That's right.
There's a lot of work that goes into that, and there's a lot of prep work and prep time that goes into that to make sure that everybody at home and all the fans have a great experience. And like, for example, the audio issues that we had at the first pay-per-view didn't have any of those the second time around. Like, it was crystal clear. It was crisp.
I was on that shit.
Yeah. So just, every iteration, there's just something to build on. There's always something extra to do. And I will say once again, thumbtacks in the mouth, they stole that shit.
Yeah, until I came out the next match and had thumbtacks all on my hand. Yeah, that was a go fuck yourself moment. Weren't gonna ever have that happen again. So let's shout out to the Black Wrestling dude. Yeah, shout out to him. Well, I'm on Twitter as well. So let's get into it. First match on the card, buddy.
Look, I gotta wait. I gotta do the. I appreciate what you just said though. What he said, and then I do have to, of course, give props to you, BJ, and Ghetto Heisman, I should say, and and the BCW crew. The venue did look great. What up, White? But the venue did look great. I think my only issue was the lighting itself. It was a little dark, and I was like, hey, what's up with those PWG lights you got to get? Like, they don't sell.
No,
They don't
he
sell
sends
for
me
like
a list.
$42, dog.
He sends me a list. He says, "Get these
Bro.
PWG lights."
I said you got the Triple H lights that are going for like $23 right now. They got like it gives you like 4 colors or something like that. You could have it hung
Well,
up.
here's the thing about the lighting,
bro.
The last show we have like this amazing lighting setup there.
Mhm.
The last show, the camera guy, the lighting guy, put the lights into the camera. So for like 2 matches, all you see is these brightly colored lights, and he spent like as we're setting things up, I'm like, hey, I don't need the fucking lights. I need this to work. But every wrestler should have their own lights. I don't give a shit about the lights. All I care is that the show is going to start on time. Fuck these lights, man.
Yeah.
So he didn't do the lights this time, which I greatly appreciated because I got to actually watch the show without being blind. So yeah.
Hey, I ain't mad at it, but yeah, it was like it'll get worked out. Ain't no worry about it. It'll get worked out. All right, but
you're gonna go from Lucha Vavoom up to the next level pretty soon.
I ain't no Lucha Vavoom, brother. Can't nobody get down like Lucha Vavoom.
You been to a Lucha Vavoom show?
Julian live in California. He knows some Lucha Vavoom.
That's just crazy.
Shout out to my girl Liz.
I love Liz.
Thank you, Liz. When you got a new girl, that's how you decide if this is gonna work or not.
Take her to Lucha Vavoom.
You do. You take her to a Lucha Vavoom show.
Baby. We're gonna go watch this wrestling show. Why do you have to girls here? Don't worry. It's Lucha Vavoom.
Man, I've taken a few to Lucha Vavoom while I was working. They were mad, first of all, because I was down in the basement, and they upstairs.
So, hold on, Shane had a question. He says,
"Yeah,
I have a question about thumbtacks in the mouth spot. How the fuck do you not swallow them all?" Shane, simple. I don't put them in my mouth. I've never once swallowed a thumbtack. You know why? Because they've never been in my mouth.
It's illusions.
No. Mirrors. It was not smoking mirrors because it was in my hand. Anyway, let's go. First match: Buddy Highway versus the return. Well, Tex Thompson.
Tex Thompson. Yes.
Buddy Highway.
Okay. First of all, I love Tex. Okay.
So, I thought it was going to be a Texas Bull Rope match, but I was highly disappointed.
I love Tex.
Tex
can't do no wrong in my eyes, man. I love Tex. I've always loved Tex. I will always love Tex. Buddy, on the other hand, no, I'm joking, man. That's my dog. When it came to this match, I honestly, like I told you, I thought this match should have just focused honestly on telling the story, working the crowd. It's the very first match. Really, you don't have to do much. If you're not putting the semi-main event first, because I'm a big believer in starting strong and ending stronger. So if you're not putting what should be considered like a semi-main event match first, and you're putting these guys on, then it should just be your job is to get the crowd into it, because we have like 5 other matches going. That's going to be coming up. We need them hyped. We need them going. We don't want you to kill them, but we want you to get them up and get them out the seats. I think they could have actually worked probably 3 minutes. Because really, what you gonna do with Tex? Tex got his stuff. He's very solid in what he does. Like I said, he could have taken a little bit longer on that wishbone. Yes, a little bit longer. Played to the crowd a little bit more. That would have been great. But he did his job. He went in there. He did his job. I think I'm a clean freak. Me and TJ Perkins. We're clean freaks.
TJ's been at BCW a lot, so I get that.
Yeah, so I'm a clean guy. Like, you got to clean it up. Ring positioning. I would love to just go out there and just train your guys for like a good, just do like a 2-day seminar.
I got to run that in my house. You know that. You know that. He needs to been bugging me about getting you to come up here.
Oh yeah, I know. But I say it was a pretty decent opener. Pretty decent opener. It had a lot of potential. It could have been, like I said, it could have been like a little 3.5, 4-star kind of situation, just because I know the talent that was in the ring, and I know what they're both capable of. And even though it's an opener, it's a shorter match. Like I said, they could have worked the crowd a hell of a lot more than what I got. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that one. And that's pretty much what I put in there. If you still got those text messages, you can bring them up anytime. No.
Oh yeah. Well, that's in the staff chat. The staff chat sees that. So that's the behind the veil.
Okay.
Shit.
Cool.
We don't pull the veil back too deep here on the
Alright,
show.
cool.
We do talk a massive amount of shit about SmackDown and Raw. So let's go to the second match of the card. The second match was an intergender match.
Oh, what's homegirl name?
Sunny Days.
Oh,
So here's the funny thing.
no, what's her deal? What's her name?
Sunny Days.
Sunny Days.
That was on purpose. That was all purpose. Man, Sean and Brett, let's go. Oh, Sunny Days. Okay, first.
You fool.
Man.
It just dawned on me what he was talking about.
Wait, you didn't connect it?
I did.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say like no. But I would say, yeah, it's like that. Okay, so the second match, it was Sunny Days, and then what was the dude's name?
Caleb Rex.
Okay, Ghetto Heisman 2003.
No. Okay, maybe.
He stole your gear, dog. He stole your gear.
I was not that green though.
I know, but he stole your gear.
I hate you sometimes. This is what happens when you bring someone on the show that knows all your dirt.
I know it all, baby. I know it all. So it was no, seriously. I legit texted him that. I said he stole your gear, dog.
He did.
Yeah. Wait, who's Caleb? Oh, is that his name? His name's Caleb.
Caleb Rex.
Okay, cool. So Caleb, all right. So Caleb has potential, and I say that because I saw his energy level at first, but then he started huffing and puffing. I don't know. I can definitely work with this guy.
Blowing his doors off.
Yeah, man. That was an ongoing trend though. Like during the majority of the show, in almost every match, within 4 minutes, everybody's huffing and puffing. So I was just like, "What's up with the cardio game?" Like, man, I know I'm at the heaviest I've ever been in my life, but 4 minutes, nah, I'm not huffing and puffing, buddy. I'm not huffing and puffing. But no, I was watching the match. I was entertained at first, because it was. It's an intergender match. Like I love those. The last intergender match, it was against Rays that I had. Great match. YouTube it. You'll have a great time.
Wow, superstars.
Oh yeah. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, it's LTP versus Rays. Ruby Rays. Great match for Brian Kendrick's Feds. Yeah, I'm dropping names. Go ahead, check that out because I'm a big fan of them. You get to see the power struggle, man and woman, that kind of thing. And I think it could have been a little bit more back and forth. I think it could have been structured better. I know I'm not trying to go into terms or anything like that, too many terms, but I'm just saying like there was a lot of potential in that match. And it wasn't able to be reached because the foundation wasn't strong. Like they couldn't even tell, like you really couldn't tell who the ring general was, because you first watch it and you're like, oh, this person's the ring general. And then something went wrong. When something goes wrong in a match, the ring general is the one that's supposed to bring it back together. And the person who I thought was the ring general, your boy Caleb, kind of got a little outshined by Sunny Days because Sunny Days was like, I'm now going to capitalize on this mess up or whatever. And she did. She capitalized and she got the match right back in order. And I was extremely impressed by that. extremely impressed because she didn't skip a beat.
She's been around for a long time. There's any woman in this industry in this area that hasn't worked with Sunny Days, and 99% of the guys have worked with her too, and she's always delivered. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Sunny Days match. Well, I mean, she did wrestle a girl named Sherry Roy, but not even Sunny can carry that weight.
Yeah, man. Like for me, because it's there were some people, of course, I've seen. Some people I'm familiar with, but a lot of these guys I haven't seen, or I haven't seen them in a while, or something like that. So, as somebody who's kind of like you could say is like a first time watcher, I would say she is easily probably my top 3 of the night, easily, just off of that one moment. And I'm a big moments person. I don't care. You could do 1,000,001 flips. You could do whatever you want. Come on, one of my closest friends is Brandon Gatson, who is killing it on the scene right now. Okay, known the guy since high school, and he can flip all day. I'm not worried about flips. I'm worried about storytelling. I'm worried about structure, making sure your ring placement. Like, you got to make me look good. I'm sitting at home watching this. Like I said, I take wrestling seriously. I want to be entertained, you know? But I look for certain things. Ring placement was off a little bit here and there. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to like drag the podcast down, but it's the truth, man. Like,
well, let me ask you this: what was give me 3 of the best parts of the show for you that will make you, as a viewer, tune in to the next show?
Sunny Days was dope. Okay. Just her aura, how she came out. Who was it? Was it the Natural? Oh, I sent you a text on that. And about, I was like, their entrance alone was dope, just because of the energy that they had. I'm an energy guy, like, and that's what I'm mostly looking for. Is sure, there's so many little things that I could be nitpicky on, you know, and I don't want to be, you know, like I said, I'm nitpicky with some things, but there are some things that just supersedes over all of that, and energy is number 1. So anybody who came out with energy, like that's what I got. That's why I said Tex, man, easy work. He doesn't have to do much for me anyway, because he knows his gimmick. He knows what he's about. That first opener match, and then he was facing Buddy Highway. Like, that's easy work. True statement. Easy work. You know, you got the second match. You know, like I said, your boy Caleb, he has a lot of potential. Homegirl Sunny Days came forward. She kicked butt on that.
So you would come to a show and watch Sunny Days because you think that she's fucking.
I think she has the energy, and I think she's going to entertain me, and she's going to keep me interested. That's the most important. I don't care how many moves you do. I don't care about that. I care about how you do it, what story you're telling, and can you keep me interested the entire time? Can you keep me interested? Just keep me interested.
And you know, the sad thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is we're talking about an indie professional wrestling company that can keep the interest of the public, as opposed to the WWE that has Monday Night Raw that I literally fell asleep twice during watching tonight.
Well,
it was pretty bad.
You were not lying. Because I try to watch a little of everything, you know, because got friends everywhere. We got friends everywhere. So we always want to watch, and I do the same thing. Like, I got to turn off the TV sometimes, because I'm like, man, and I love Fergal. I love Fergal to death, but sometimes, like, it's not him, but it's just, and it's not his fault. It's just kind of what it is. Like, I got to turn the channel. You know, I'm not interested. You didn't keep my interest. I'll watch Mike the Miz.
My head hurts every time I watch Raw.
That's like, I'll watch Mike the Miz. Why? Because it keeps my interest.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on.
When he's on the mic.
So, what is the second match that you feel would pique your interest?
Oh, I I would say your match. Your match was
Don't
no,
be biased.
no. Your match was. The funny thing about your match
I'm gonna go
was
ahead and excuse myself while you talk about this.
no. He's funny. He's funny. I got that line on me now. No, seriously. I think that tag team match was really good. I am a huge fan. What was the big dude's name in the overalls?
Big Vicious.
Oh, that's Big Vicious.
Big V.
That's Big Vicious.
Yes,
Hey.
he's changed a lot.
Bro.
So Big Vicious, the guy who's the mental patient with the sock monkey.
Yeah, bro. Big Vicious. I'm probably like in his top 5 favorite, like, biggest fans easily. Like, yo, I was just like, bro. I was like, do less.
Just he's such a big guy. He doesn't have to do much of anything, but he likes to work. That's the thing about him. He's like Big Man Vader.
Bro, he doesn't have to do much of anything. His size, the way he carries himself, like, I was like, yo, star. Star. Hands down, star. He gets it. It clicks. He gets it. He gets it.
I'm pretty sure he'll be glad to hear that. He's probably watching this podcast right now.
He
beaming.
gets it. It was crazy. No, and like I said, I don't want to be a downer or shit on anybody. I don't. That's not my goal. My goal is I want you to wake up, because I'm not going to kiss your ass, and I'm going to keep it real with you, because I love wrestling. And if you get your feelings hurt by anything I say, fuck you. That's how I feel about it. Step your game up.
Ladies and gentlemen, now you see where I get my attitude from.
Step your game up. Period, point blank. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at yourself.
That's right. Don't blame Canada. Blame yourself.
Get motivated more than anything. Get motivated more than any. Don't go cry. Get in the gym. Get to the ring. Get to the ring more than the gym, because ring work compared to gym work is two totally different things, buddy. True. Your cardio in the ring is going to be way better like if you work in the ring compared to at the gym. Okay, but I'm going to give credit when credit is due. That tag team match was dope. That tag team match kept me interested.
You hear that? Just Exciting. The BCW Worldwide Champion, Just Exciting, is in the house right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's right there.
Better be. Yo. That match kept me interested.
That ring.
Bro. Hey, the only critique I can give for that entire tag team match was there was probably 2 minutes in that entire match that y'all could have cut out because y'all was talking so much.
Oh, well, yeah.
But y'all worked the crowd. The thing is, you guys are kings of working the crowd. Y'all the kings of working the crowd out there. It's the truth.
Crowd, you'll never guess. I finally got Alex Shelley to block me. I told him don't be blowing snot on people. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. Man.
Long story for another day, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But no, I would definitely say that match was so good. I can't believe that's Big Vicious, yo. Freaking star.
Yeah.
Star.
He's got the if, ands, or what. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're gonna do. LTP is gonna join us in a behind the paywall private tutoring for some wrestlers. If you're a professional wrestler anywhere in the industry and you want to learn more about how to better yourself in the industry, hit up bcwbooker@gmail.com. And that is bcwbooker@gmail.com. Can set you up with a one-on-one session with this gentleman who's been to New Japan, who's been all around the world doing what you want to do and learn how to be a star. And with that being said, we are going to be right back after this crazy commercial break. Because you know how we get down.
Professional wrestling is one of the toughest sports going today. If you ever dreamed of being a professional wrestler, then former WWE superstar and World Tag Team Champion Sir Mo of the famed tag team Men on a Mission invites you, yes, you, to join his Bumps and Bruises Academy. Now in 2 locations in Carrollton, Texas, and Sherwood, Arkansas. Allow Sir Mo and his head coach, Dante Smiley, and other coaches to get you on the road to an exciting and rewarding career. Classes forming now for your shot. Contact Sir Mo at 704-819-7312 or fill out an information questionnaire now. Don't wait, make your dreams come true today by joining the Bumps and Bruises Pro Wrestling Academy.
Hi, this is James Beard with SWE Fury, and you're watching the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, once again.
And we're back.
And we're back. And you know, it looks like Big V is in the chat. And Big V had to say, thank you, sir. Yeah. Look, so ladies and gentlemen, and the champ is in the chat's also the champ's also in the chat. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Hey, you know what's real crazy?
What's that?
Just exciting Clark Kent at me. And by that I mean he wrestled without the mask on. And here I am looking for a lucha bro. And by lucha bro, I mean like a brother in a lucha mask. And he's out there with no mask. And I was like, oh, that's okay.
Oh man, see, this is the kind. Look, this is what you get when you get on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We don't just talk about BCW Worldwide. We don't talk about NWA. We don't talk about Ring of Honor. We talk about everything professional wrestling and how you, as a professional wrestling fan, can get smart to the business by learning about the business, and how you, as a professional wrestler, can get smart by doing what the fans want. We are a fan service company here, ladies and gentlemen, and because we're a fan service company, we often like to have the fans help us out. So, if you want to help out the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, or if you want to help out BodySlam.net, just in general, ladies and gentlemen, we have a way you can do that. Fans have been asking me, how can I help the podcast? Ladies and gentlemen, it's real easy. You can go right here to www.slamchats.com to support the boys and girls here at BodySlam.net. That is www.slamchats.com to support the boys and girls here that work hard for you at the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast at BodySlam.net. We are the people that want to make sure that we have all the great news, all the great drama, all the behind the scenes stuff, all that cool shit that you won't get from anybody else. Because BodySlam.net is for all your wrestling news and needs, all your gossip, behind the scenes scoops, all that great shit. Ladies and gentlemen, all you got to do is go to www.slamchats.com to help your boys out. So, Julian.
Yes, sir.
Shall we get back into this hot-ass dumpster fire, this hot garbage of a show known as Monday Night Raw? Or as I
I thought we were done with that. I thought we were in the more interesting things.
Oh, no. We still got to finish. We got to finish up with the Raw review, man.
Are you sure?
People tune in to find out what's going on with the Raw. And you know my whole thing about Raw, man. Raw is...
All right, man.
Raw is something else, man. I mean,
so
it is.
You know, so... Hey man, talking about 50-50 booking. You know, Bobby Lashley be out there choking out kids and whatnot. So John Laurinaitis does that 50-50 booking, and he has the rest of the Hurt Business lose to Los Mysterios. All right, so we're done with that. Then we get a 5-on-5 match with Becky Lynch, Doudrop, Tamina Snuka, and Zelina Vega and Carmella versus Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, and WWE 24/7 champion Dana Brooke. It's a women's 5-on-5 match. That is a cluster frick. And really, I mean, everybody gets the shit in, but, you know, it's just a little bit too much. The winners are Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, Bianca Belair, and Dana Brooke. Did it go 30 minutes? No. Did it get enough time? No. Did anybody get to shine? No.
Well, technically,
in it? Yes.
Technically, Okay, so we started the night talking about talking about some of the crazy shit that happened.
And Tamina hits a
Um,
Samoan drop, and she's not Samoan.
The thing that bothered me the most about this show was in 2 separate promos on Raw tonight. They were trying to make a story out of people actually getting fired. That was like a very big topic. Like Becky Lynch constantly made reference to the other 2 members of the Riot Squad being released.
Oh yeah, correct. Yes.
Of course, Edge did it earlier in his promo with Seth Rollins.
I mean, it just means that they're going to come back. So,
I mean,
remember, anything can happen.
yeah.
Anybody
Vince
can come
McMahon
back.
kept saying that all night.
Maybe if you rub the egg, someone can get rehired.
Oh my God! I'm not rubbing
Wow, that
anyone's
sounded
egg,
really
that's for
nasty.
sure.
I really apologize for that. Actually, that'd be rub the grapefruits in Vince's mind.
The
No,
genetic
it stands
jackhammer.
for really awful writing. The wrestling's fine. The writing is just
Okay, so let's talk about.
yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, let me talk about the drip. Okay, I said this on Twitter, and I'm gonna say it right here on the podcast. I don't know where the fuck Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins come up with these clothes. I don't know if they're stealing them from Liberace's closet or whatever, but their house is the drippiest house of all drip drips.
Somebody needs a syphilis shot. So I'm
I mean,
saying.
like he came out for the main event.
Sorry, that's the clout.
Kevin Owens versus Biggie, and I predicted what was going to happen earlier tonight. When they made that stipulation, I literally was on Twitter like, "This is what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen," because the writing is on the wall. Let me tell you the
funny
difference.
thing is, when Raw started, Seth Rollins came out in that all red outfit.
Yes.
At first, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to hit the DVR instead on Sling TV. Let me go make sure I'm watching the right show." Because it looks like the same annoying red shit that he wore when he came out a couple weeks ago. It just seems that he has a closet full of annoying red shit, and he's got the laugh. That just makes you want to strangle him.
Laugh.
Oh my God. The dude is just annoying. I can see how a fan would want to hop the fence and tackle him. Oh wait, that happened last week.
That happened. That happened last week.
Yeah, that happened at BCW.
That dude hit a spear better than Goldberg. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
Threatening to kill him.
But what? Speaking of that, Goldberg threatened to kill Bobby Lashley
Unsuccessfully.
and a couple other wrestling related threats have been made over the course of the last, 3 months. We've calculated there's Simon Miller actually had a death count of how many times someone threatened to kill someone on ups and downs. That's how bad it was. Well, tonight, Vince McMahon was talking to Austin Theory, who he basically made Austin Theory stay in the office the whole time with him. And he asked Austin, "Hey, what did you learn tonight, pal?" And Austin says, "I learned that anything can happen, and you gotta always be prepared." And he slaps the shit out of Austin Theory out of nowhere. You weren't prepared for that, were you, pal? And then he tells him, "If you ever steal from me again, I will kill you." You just literally made a death threat on Monday Night Raw on USA Network. I will kill you. What the fuck is going on in wrestling today?
Well, Elias is still dead.
Elias
Isn't that amazing? How Elias wrote himself off TV so he wouldn't get fired?
All he had to do is not answer his phone.
He completely dodged the firing cuts or the round of cuts just by pretending to be dead. Maybe they're afraid to call him because it was like Twilight Zone where the phone was like
Shane's right. Shane asked, wasn't one of his banned words was kill on television? That's right. Yeah, you weren't allowed to say kill on TV for wrestling.
What were you allowed to say? Forcibly deceased?
I mean, they can't say hospital. They have to say local medical facility.
Medical facility. Involuntarily cease
voluntarily cease to exist. I don't know. I mean,
choke him out.
He let Bobby
Tap him
Lashley.
out.
He let Bobby Lashley go beat people's kids. I mean,
Hey man,
you know.
putting kids to sleep.
Anyway,
Put more kids to sleep than NyQuil.
so quite honestly, Raw ends the way that I said it was going to end. But one thing I didn't like was I didn't like the fact that the Raw heavyweight champion, Biggie,
Lost by DQ.
no, I mean the DQ loss, whatever. You knew that was going to come, but the fact that he took a beating afterwards, and he left
For
him
the second
laying,
week in a row.
yeah, like you. Okay, so here's my
Third week
thing.
in a row because he
Here's
lost
my
at
thing.
the pay-per-view.
I have this issue with champions being pinned. On NXT, the North American champion has been pinned constantly. There has been one champion, one North American champion in the whole history of the North American Championship that's actually had a successful match on regular NXT television. Okay. I don't understand why Vince is so dead set about his champions losing, because we said this before and I'll say it again. When you're the champ, you're supposed to be at a higher standard. You're supposed to be up here, and everyone is trying to get to that level. But if you're getting beat constantly week after week after week, then what does it fucking matter? They did it to Shinsuke Nakamura.
You don't see Charlie getting beat like that.
They basically diminished the Intercontinental title. They basically diminished the United States Championship, and now they got the Cruiserweight Championship, but they got a 315-pound guy challenging for the Cruiserweight title. So that's why I said the other day on Twitter, I asked, should they just get rid of weight limits?
Okay, so you sometimes need a 315-pound guy to challenge for a cruiserweight title so the cruiserweight can beat him to look stronger.
I don't buy that.
I'm sorry, that's my dog snoring.
Your dog is cutting down some trees over there.
Sasha, you not buying it? No? All right.
He is handling his business. But all in all, I think that interesting. All in all, I think that tonight's episode of Raw was
lackluster.
Not even lackluster.
So here's the thing. Their next pay-per-view literally is day one.
January
and
1st.
They've got 4 weeks to build up to it. And because they're not invested in long-term storytelling, they've got no storytelling to do. So if they wanted to, they could set a precedent and they could start doing some long-form storytelling, and they could really start weaving in some really good stories between Rhea Ripley and her ascension back towards the main event scene. Now that she's lost the tag team titles, she's back in the singles scene, and she's trying to go after just anybody who's in her way to make her way back to the top. And then, of course, when the Rumble shows up, there's going to be Bayley. So she's going to have to be Bayley. Bayley's going to be a gatekeeper. And she's been going back and forth with Bayley online. Great story to tell there. Nikki ASH, she's going to go have to fight some little people in between. Maybe she can get a match against Becky Lynch at some point. She can get a match against Tamina. She can get a match against Doudrop, which would be great if you had Nikki ASH fighting Doudrop. Her and Piper Niven would actually probably put on a great show. It would be the perfect David and Goliath, and it would be highly entertaining. Just give them enough time to do it.
And that's the thing. They have 4 weeks until day one.
Correct.
And 4 weeks after that, they have the Royal Rumble.
Correct.
That's 8 weeks. 8 weeks. That's 8 more Mondays, 8 more SmackDowns on Fridays, ladies and gentlemen, to build a storyline. I'm willing to put good Louis Dangor money on the fact that they will not fucking do a good storyline. That they probably will screw up this triple threat match. They'll probably make it a championship contenders match and have Big E lose all the fucking matches. They'll probably have Roman destroy. there was something online the other day, and I sat in I was watching Rhapsodies. The boys are Rhapsodies on Saturday afternoons, Saturday mornings, and they were talking about Roman Reigns being like this undeniable, undefeatable champion. in his interview or his promo on Friday was basically him shooting on the writers. If you think about it, he's like, "What, you're gonna have a Black Friday battle royal to determine my number one contender because I've beaten everybody." My mom used to tell me this all the time, and it really hits home now. You can't beat everybody all the time because no one will want to play with you. You got Roman beating everybody. You bring in these part-timers, he beats the part-timers. Part-timers go. So instead of building up guys like Ricochet and building up guys like, your boy Drew Jinder Mahal, are building up guys like, Drew McIntyre to be a viable contender, you have those guys get beat soundly. Biggie is the other brand champion. It's like in LA, we had the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yep.
They always had the Freeway Series, the Angels and the Dodgers. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was the Lakers and the Celtics.
Dude,
then it was the Lakers and the Pistons.
Cousins.
So you got the Packers and the Vikings. Like you got these storied historical rivalries. The Rock and Austin, Triple H and The Rock, Shawn Michaels and God. Mankind and
The Undertaker.
Vince McMahon, the WWE, Jack Tunney, same shit. You got all these historical rivalries. The Horsemen versus the Road Warriors and Paul and Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff. The superpowers. Sting and the NWO. Sting and Flair. Well, we shouldn't say that name anymore. Balor and God too. But anyway, you have all of these historical like rivalries because people want to see that rivalry because you built up these guys to the point where like in the 80s, like in the early 2000s, you had The Rock and Triple H. You had The Rock and Austin. You had feuds that people will want that make compelling storylines. Now you got Roman Reigns, who's like 650 days as champion, some bullshit. Just running through people like a hot knife through butter. So,
hey, they did it with they did it with what's his name? The dude with the big head who was champion for so long, Italian guy,
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Bruno Sammartino was champion for like 1,000 and some odd days.
Yeah, I mean.
But
that's when you had territories and you could bring people.
It was different territories.
And you could just like chew through them.
But see, and this is where things get fucked up. Because at the end of the day, you got guys like Mustafa Ali. You got guys that can work that will never, ever, ever get a good look at and get a good chance because you're building this one unstoppable titan. And you're making him so unstoppable that people aren't going to believe that he's going to lose. There's no believability that Sami Zayn can actually beat Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? So why would I spend my money on a pay-per-view knowing that the ending is going to end this way? But then you have the Raw side.
Unless you take conspiracy dude like Sami Zayn, and hear me out here. You take Sami Zayn and you make him the new Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, and you have him put together a new Dungeon of Doom to take down the Hulkamania, which is Roman Reigns. And you put in a Braun Strowman. I mean, you just put in an assortment of just like big, legit dudes. And then no Zodiac, no Sharks, no Booty Men.
No Shark?
No, no.
Shout out to the Shark right there.
No, Evad Sullivan. Yeah, I mean, like put in just like some legit dudes. Like have some guys come together who are like, fuck that, we about to take down the bloodline. I mean, let's do some real gang warfare out here. And, you know, you don't have to do like, you don't have to make it like, you know, too iffy, bringing back like the Forgotten Sons or nothing like that. But I mean, you know, hey, once Kofi gets back, and I mean, yeah, but they don't want to overshine Biggie as champion. But, you know, just, I mean, hell, once Kofi gets back, you bring in your former WWE champion, you bring in your current WWE champion, you bring in the king of the ring, and you have him go ham on the bloodline and have him just like, you know, work on have him bring in a fourth man. Who is the fourth man? Or have Bobby Lashley take advantage. Oh, you know what? That is the one person that Roman Reigns has not beaten. That is Bobby Lashley. Have Bobby Lashley come in and put the Usos to sleep. Put them two kids to sleep.
See, that's another thing. Now you got so many single guys. They're so great. You already have them already destroyed by Roman. Like the Fiend's gimmick. The Fiend gimmick was awesome. He was the next Undertaker. Till you had him lose to Seth Rollins in a match that you couldn't get disqualified in, where you got disqualified. And then you have such inconsistency with the writing and the booking that instead of pushing all of these people, you're pushing one person and you're dragging down the rest.
Correct.
So when it came with Roman, when it came to Roman, here's the thing with Roman. Roman's character now is over. Right? Roman's character is so over that he's indestructible. He is. Did you finally see the Eternals?
Yes.
Okay. Roman Reigns is Isham the judge. He's such a huge, like, menacing figure.
Yep.
That no one is going to topple this menacing figure. Nobody. There's no feasible person that's going to beat this guy. So instead of building a character and building someone to beat this guy, you're just feeding people to him. You take a champion from the other brand, which is supposed to be on par and equal to this brand. Raw is supposed to be equal to SmackDown, as SmackDown is equal to Raw. Their champions are supposed to be the two top guys in the industry, right?
Well, you know, Raw is supposed to be your A brand.
Raw would be your flagship show. Then why did you just take the WWE Championship, which is the most prestigious championship in all of professional wrestling, even over the Universal title? Like the WWE Championship is the oldest, most prestigious championship other than the National Wrestling Alliance Sweet Charlotte, the 10 pounds of gold. Other than that championship, this is the second oldest championship in the history of professional wrestling. This is supposed to be the flagship show. Everybody wants to be the WWE champion. Everybody wants to be on Raw. But you got really awful wrestling. Really awful writing, whatever you want to call it. You take the Raw Championship.
Maybe they're saving it for Rex Steiner.
No, you take the Raw Championship.
Steiner.
And that Raw Championship is, in my opinion, less than the NXT title. So you took Big E and you made him less than Tommaso Ciampa. No offense to Tommaso Ciampa in the NXT Championship, but
he's been holding down for quite some time.
But you get what I'm saying. You're taking a main title and you're making. Let me put it this way:
they made a hierarchy. They made the
WWE Championship,
Raw, NXT.
You're taking the WWE Championship and you just made PWG Championship, GCW Championship more prestigious than the WWE title, because the PWG champion isn't getting jobbed out every week. The GCW champion isn't getting jobbed out every week on fucking national television. You're supposed to be like, oh, the championship means so much. But you just got the champion his ass beat several times. Now this brand versus brand warfare, I mean, sure, we do the whole prediction warfare gimmick here, and we actually, we predict matches, and we have fun doing it. But at the end of the day, if I were booking the WWE, and if I were booking the SmackDown champion versus the Raw champion, that match would have went to a double disqualification or a fucking draw. Because you don't bury one champion to elevate another.
Correct.
And the whole company, everyone in the WWE, from the phenomenal AJ Styles to even Randy Orton. Everyone in the WWE is buried under Roman.
Yep.
So until and people are saying Roman is the best thing to happen to Raw. Roman's the best thing. I mean, best thing to happen to wrestling. Roman's the best thing to happen to WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, Roman is not The Rock. Roman is not Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, but he's about to be The Rock.
You don't get it.
Next year.
People don't like
the SoFi Center.
People don't like having something shoved down their throat.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, it is what it is.
Hollywood, we are going to get The Rock versus Roman Reigns at the SoFi Center in Inglewood, live, or in Hollywood, as WWE will call it.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about Inglewood.
And it is going to be a moneymaker. People are going to show out for it. It's going to be in a fresh, brand new stadium. And it's going to be tight. So that was the end of Raw. Biggie loses by DQ. And the day one pay-per-view will be Biggie versus Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship.
Well, let's hope and pray. When I say this, I mean this. Let's hope and pray that this day one pay-per-view really does reset things, because I don't see Liv Morgan becoming the WWE Raw Women's Champion. I don't see Toni Storm becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion. I don't see it. You know why I don't see it? Because the WWE just basically made me realize that there's no way they're going to win the championship.
Well, as we like to say in the business, and that being the engineering business, wish in one hand, shit in the other. Tell me which one fills up first.
True statement. True statement. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's get out of here. We wasted.
Before we get out of here, we got 3 questions to cover.
Uh-oh.
3 very simple questions.
Where can they watch us on TV?
That's the 4th question.
Okay.
Now, we're going to take a trip down memory lane real quick.
Back down memory lane.
You've been in the wrestling business for a bit, haven't you?
Somewhat.
You've wrestled all across this wonderful country. You've wrestled in the Pacific Northwest.
A couple times over.
What's the furthest east you have wrestled?
Japan.
What's the furthest east in the United States you've wrestled?
Yes, for the furthest east. New York. Rhode Island. All right. Wait. Maine.
Here's a question for you. Have you ever had a chance to run across a wrestler by the name of The Perfect Creation?
No, I don't think so. But that is a good-ass gimmick name.
All right. So this guy, his name was The Perfect Creation, Richard Criato. The reason why I know this is because when I was at Penn State, there was a local wrestling promotion that I used to go. Let's put it like this, guys. When I was in grad school, I was broke as fuck. I was so broke that I could not afford to make it down to go see ECW in its heyday down in Philly, which I regret to this day. So I used to go to local shows like in Allentown and like the surrounding areas. Anyway, this dude used to come out to his theme song was Darth Vader's The March of the Empire. And his arch nemesis was this guy by the name of Hurricane something. And they used to go at it. And they used to go at it all the time. And they were on the indie circuit for a long time. And I was really surprised that I checked on him the other day, like just Googled his name, because I was like, oh, what happened to this guy? And he is in the XPW Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And so, I mean, I was in grad school. I graduated in 1998. So that was a little while back. So he'd been doing it for a minute. And so all that to say is you're going to be in somebody's Hall of Fame one of these days.
Probably not. I am a basic dude. I've done some cool shit. I've been some cool places. I've made history with some cool titles. Most notably the 2 behind my head. Well, 3 behind my head. Well, the 4 behind my head. Well, the 5 behind my head. So. But at the end of the day, I didn't do it for the glory or the money or the fame. I did it because it was my outlet. It was what kept me out of trouble when I was younger. And I grew up respecting this business, and I grew up loving this business. And the moment I got a chance to perform in this business, the best feeling in the world. I mean, I equate 3 things in my life to being the best: being a parent, being a good son to my mom and dad, and those belts behind me. And my mom passed away last year, and the most important things in my life are my kids and what's in that trophy case behind me, because that's my legacy. My kids and that trophy case, those championship belts, they're just part of the legacy. The friends that I made along the way, the family that I made along the way, the impact. You ever have someone come up to you and say, because of you, I changed my life. I was doing drugs, or I was drinking, or I was involved with gangs, or I was on a downward spiral, and then I came and watched the wrestling show, and I saw you were so real, and I followed you on MySpace. Yeah, that's right. I said it, MySpace. I had a guy who messaged me one time, and he said that he had been following me for 15 years.
Wow.
And he told me he was proud of me, and it freaked me out because I'm like, what the fuck? Proud of me? And the guy lived in Shreveport, Alabama, or Shreveport, Louisiana, and I lived my dream. I got to wrestle Tim Storm for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Portland, Oregon, in front of my family. Everyone, all my loved ones, my mom was watching at home. It was like the pinnacle of in my opinion, the best thing I've ever done. I mean, I've held the NWA Northwest Championship, a title held by Roddy Piper and the great, Kurt Hennig and Brian Adams Crush, and the great, the grappler who held it longer than anyone else. I held that title longer than anyone in the history of that championship. The NWA Continental Championship, I held that title for almost 800 days, longer than anyone in history. And the Western States Heritage Championship, I've held that title 5 times. I've broken records with those titles, and I'm gonna tell you, the biggest thing that ever meant something to me was the fact that I got to wrestle for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Portland, Oregon. And that guy who wrote me on MySpace 15 years earlier had been following me and flew from Louisiana to Portland, Oregon, and paid for a front row seat to watch me live my dream. And it really freaked me out. Not in a bad way, but like wow, someone gave a shit about something that I did. And that guy told me, you inspired me to stop doing the things that I was doing and get my life together. And the guy's a mayor of a small town in Louisiana now.
No shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had an email sent to me one time, and this kid had stage 4 cancer. And I was his Make-A-Wish. Me. Like, who the fuck am I? I'm a basic dude, from Portland, Oregon, who just happens to wrestle all over the country. So I take pride in doing what I do week after week for you guys. In this podcast, the people that I met during this podcast, Julian, Cassidy Haynes, all the guys at BodySlam.net, Tony the Burns, all the guys at BCW Worldwide, anyone and everyone I've ever come in contact with in this business, young and old, brand new friends, old friends, like you guys keep me going every day, and it's so fucking awesome that I got this community that I'm able to share stories and share my opinions, and my opinions actually fucking matter to some people. It's crazy. People, when I look at the analytics of these shows and I see people in Bangladesh, like who the fuck has a TV in Bangladesh? But they're watching us. You know, there's some people in Saudi Arabia are watching us. China, Taipei, places that I'm like, do you even have internet? Like they have internet there? What the hell? They're watching us. So shout out to all of you people who take your time on your Mondays, on your Wednesdays, and on your Friday nights when you can be out partying and doing other shit. Listen to me and Julian talk shit about wrestling, because we're just two dudes who just happen to love professional wrestling. And we were blessed with the opportunity to sit and talk with you guys on a daily basis. And so with that being said, Julian, tell these amazing people where they can watch us on TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the Portland, Oregon area and you want to see us on TV, you just want your daily dose of sexual chocolate with a little sprinkle of professional wrestling on top of it. Every Monday night at 10 p.m. on channel 22 Xfinity TV and channel 8002 CenturyLink TV. You can catch us, or every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. on channel 23 Xfinity TV and channel 8003 CenturyLink TV, or on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m., channel 11's Xfinity TV and CenturyLink TV.
Man, that's a lot of places. And, ladies and gentlemen, you want to listen to us on the podcast when you're driving around your car, you can listen to us on Google Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and a dozen other places you can find us.
Where can't you?
Man, you can't listen to us on the moon, apparently. Probably. Who fucking knows?
Well, if you had a good Wi-Fi signal.
True statement.
No, I hear there's a hidden base on the moon. I heard they got good Wi-Fi, too.
Is that where Captain America is?
That's what they told us. That's what the aliens are.
You can find us on Twitter. You can find us at bodyslam.net, www.bodyslam.net for all your pro wrestling needs. You can find us on Twitter at the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. You can find us also on Twitter at bodyslam.net, on YouTube at the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast /youtube.com or bodyslam.net /youtube.com. You can find us on Facebook at BCW Worldwide. You can find us at the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. You can find us on the Twitter machine the same way. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us all over the place. But the best thing you can do is you can go hit up www.bodyslam.net on YouTube. On the internet, you can find some great stories written by some of the most amazing people in the industry. You can find out some great podcasts. We got podcasters that are running groups over in the UK, over in Canada, down south, here in Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, California, all around the world. Your boy Cassidy Haynes, he's got a cool, and this is, look, ladies and gentlemen, if you like to see a motherfucker get abused, if you like to see somebody get the shit chopped out of them,
what?
Go to the YouTube channel right now, bodyslam.net, where you're watching this show. Go to bodyslam.net on YouTube, and you can click and you can scroll down, and you'll see Cassidy Takes Chops. Oh my God. Do your grandpa voice? I don't think I have a grandpa voice. I don't understand why, like, my cell phone is ringing right now when this person that's calling me knows that I'm on the podcast, which is crazy.
Best time to call you.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Also, if you're on bodyslam.net and you want some really premium articles about professional wrestling and MMA and about someone who's learning about sports in general, tune into our young friend who's 3 hours east of us, Jay Shell Nicole. And she is
killing the game.
Workhorse. She's a machine, and she is cranking articles out faster than you. Oh, there goes one right now. Oh, wait, I think there goes another one. She's cranking them out.
Oh, shit, there's one right there.
Hey, man. And if you are looking for more articles and more interviews of the MMA environment and the MMA community that you can shake a stick at, that is your boy Adam Woods at accordingtowoods.com. This dude is interviewing more people every week. I mean, every other day there's somebody in the MMA community that he is that he's interviewing, that he's getting on video. He also does comedians. He does wrestlers. He does people just in the business And that is
Combat
why
sports.
we call him the philosopher of fisticuffs, the Maharaja of MMA. We call him the professor of pugilistics. He is the Fijian phenom. He is Dr. Adam Woods.
All hail King Woods.
According to Woods.com.
That's right. All hail the tribal chief, King Woods there. Look, ladies and gentlemen, also, we're talking about J. Shell Nicole. We're talking about her writing these articles. She's doing some really good shit, man. She actually has a show. Her and another young lady, Clever, so they have a show. And what they're doing on the show is they're rebooking pay-per-views. And trust me, I think the way they're booking their pay-per-views will probably make a lot more fucking sense than some of these pay-per-views that are going on with WWE right now. But yeah, they're doing their show on the BySM.net network. Cassidy has a show. You got the Push, those guys over there. You got the Jabronis. Oh my God, man. Look, there is so much going on here on BySM.net, ladies and gentlemen. You need to like, click, and subscribe right away. I'm telling you, right away, because you might miss out on some amazing shit. Look, and it's real simple, ladies and gentlemen. For all your wrestling needs, go to BySM.net. Real simple. Go ahead and do that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here Wednesday with a special AEW Dynamite review show. Also, I think I might have a special guest.
What?
I think I might have. Let me
bring in a plus one.
Let me confirm this real quick because I love having a plus one on the show. Let's see.
We always like a plus one. There's always more room at the round table.
I mean, man, this dude already knows he has a seat at the table anytime he wants to. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about NWA Power Superstar, the Church's Money, Black G's. Let's see. Let's see what it says here. That's what I'm doing right here.
Come on down.
Okay, I sent him a text. Let's see what he says.
And, actually, the next time we're on, we'll have the little chirons at the bottom here. So you'll know to find me at Chemical Julian on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find this man at Pro Wrestling Roundtable on Twitter. And
you can find me at the Bad Blood Brand. That is BADDBLOODBRAND on the Twitter machine, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. You can find me all those cool places, man. Look, I'm all over the world when it comes to that stuff, man. Yeah. It's gonna be cool, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on another exciting edition of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by bodyslam.net, ladies and gentlemen, bodyslam.net. And let's get this last question out of the way real quick. Let's see what this last question says. When are you going to invite Big V and Bob on? Well, maybe, just maybe, I might do a little interview with Big V and Bob.
I'm really looking forward to hearing from Bob and Big V.
Bob is a sock monkey, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you about the sock monkey. The sock monkey is possessed. And the sock monkey has the ashes of Big V's long-lost sister. She passed away a couple years ago. And he keeps her ashes in the sock monkey, in a vial. And yeah, it's he's a creepy guy. He's a real creepy guy, but he's a real creepy guy.
I've got several questions for Big V about the plunger incident from the cage match.
Yeah, that's right. He was my tag team partner in that War Games cage match. What would ladies and gentlemen, did you guys like the watch along we did? If you guys like the watch along that we did, I have some news for you. Because if you like that watch along, maybe we might go back and do some back in the digging in the crates, so to speak. We did that once before when BCW first came out with the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We actually used to do this thing where we would play a match and we would talk over the match and we talk about the match and what happened in the match. And Julian and I were watching a video last night and he says, did he just give that guy an atomic drop on the plunger? Yes, he did, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he did.
There's a lot to unpack in that match, ladies and gentlemen. And
it was unpacked, all right.
Yeah.
It was unpacked. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood. For the man right here to my right, the mixologist of a professional wrestler, Mr. Chemical Julian. We will see you guys Wednesday nights. Same time, same bat channel. Peace.